Hi, it's TC here. Today we're going to be looking at the EGR valve on a Mazda 626. It's a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. So not been giving me any real problems, but it hasn't been cleaned in quite a while. I did it a little while back, but first time wasn't too bad. But I'm going to clean up the EGR valve on the Mazda 626. Okay, so there's the engine on the 626, 4-cylinder. As you can see, you've got 4 leads going into the top, so identifies it as a 4-cylinder engine. The EGR valve is there, that one there with the 4 bolts in the top, electrical connector, and there are 2 13mm, I do believe, underneath. They may not be 13mm on these, sometimes they use 12 or 11mm, but there are 2 bolts that hold it on. It just bolts up right on there. It's a bit of an awkward place, but at least it's quite easy to get to. You can hear me slipping on the stones of the drive. Okay, so that's where the EGR valve is, and just going to put it off. All we're going to do is take the connector off here, the electrical connector, a couple of bolts underneath, and take those bolts out and have a look and clean it up. This engine has done an awful lot of mileage. It's on 235,000 miles at the moment, so I do keep it topped up with oil. Later on in the year, I'm going to change the rocker cover gasket under here, or the gasket underneath the cover here, and because it's starting to leak a bit of oil in places, needing too much topping up. So that's another job for later on in the year. But it runs quite sweetly at the moment, and maybe look to do something about the emissions on it, because it's very old. Okay, there's the EGR valve they've just taken out. You can see the ports, a little bit grubby, a bit dirty. I did them a little while back. Just going to give them another clean up. There's the gasket that's on it, the metal gasket. All of them seem to have a nice metal gasket, because they are actually taking exhaust gases which are very hot. So just make sure you don't drop or lose them. Okay, just going to give it a clean up with some carb cleaner, and put it back on. You'll probably find that when you clean up your EGR valve, the actual engine may run a lot easier and cleaner, because some of these ports on here, I have seen them, as I said before, completely blocked with carbon and gunk. My engine's done quite a high mileage, 235,000 miles, but I have cleaned this out a little while ago and it wasn't too bad. So the fuel obviously is in quite good condition. You can put additives in your fuel to just help the cleaning and the burning of the engine, but yeah, no, it's not bad at all. So I'm just going to give it a clean up and then put it back in. Okay, just going to spray some carb cleaner down in the pots. Just leave it, you can see some of the gunk coming out. It's not too bad. As I say, I did this one a little while ago and it is actually running quite easier and nicer now. So just let it do its thing. Don't wipe it straight out. Some people spray it in and wipe it straight out. No, let it do its thing. Let it dissolve the carbon and the varnish and gum and everything else that gets stuck in there. And I'll get a rag and clean it off. Okay, well, I've given it a good clean out. Got most of the carbon out from inside there. I mean, you don't waste too much time on it. So if they're just mildly coated, then just spray them in, leave it for a little while, wipe it out with a rag or cloth. Something that is good for cleaning them out, I've heard and seen people use, are pipe cleaners. If you get a pipe cleaner, a little thin one, you can get in there and just wriggle it around, keep it nice and clean. But it's not too bad in there. There's a little bit of carbon build up, but just spraying a little bit more. Other than that, I think that's ready to go back on. The reason I don't waste too much time in cleaning it up is because, by the nature of the burning process of an engine, as soon as if you could spend hours cleaning it so you can see your face in it, and you put it back on, and within a couple of hours of driving, you're going to get all the blackness start to form in there anyway with the carbon once it sucks it in. Okay, so we're going to fit it back on now and tighten it up. Okay, there's the EGR valve put in. Just got to tighten up the bolts underneath here. There's just two of them that hold it in, and as you can see it's a bit loose at the moment. Just going to tighten it up and then put the electrical connector on and try it out. Okay, so put the electrical connector back on and tightened it all back up underneath, 2 bolts, and all done. So there's the EGR valve removed, cleaned and put back in, and there he is. So let's give her a try. So there she is, ticking over. Got a little bit of blow on the exhaust, so in the next few weeks I'll be taking the exhaust off and repairing that, fixing that bit of blowback. But for 1,000 miles, she ain't running too badly. Thank you for watching. It's TC saying carry on and have a go yourself.